So you want to sleep better. Um, you don't really know how to sleep better for many reasons because you kind of know in the background that your parents told you to sleep more. Maybe if you have good friends, your good friends probably told you to sleep more. Um, your teachers probably told you to sleep more. You just don't really know how to sleep more and like what are some priorities that you keep when you try to sleep better. That was definitely with me 1 year ago. So for most of my middle and high school, I've had like fragmented sleeps. So basically what that means is, so throughout the night, we'll wake up at a certain hour and then do something and then come back to the dorm and then sleep. So each night there would be like gaps of sleep. And that wasn't like horrible or anything, but it definitely did take a toll of like your day as you went through the day. It just didn't feel good. Like you felt really tired and groggy, and it just didn't really feel good. And yeah, I've had fragmented sleeps for most of my life. It's not really a bad thing. I mean, I don't like regret it or anything, but I just see it now that I should maybe prioritize that more. So for like the past year or so, I have prioritized my sleep, and I definitely see results. I mean, it's not like a body transformation or anything. Like you don't really see it that much. It's more of like just like if you observe more, you feel more energized. You just feel better in general. So I think I put a really like weird kidnappy vibe YouTube thumbnail picture for this video. So my apologies if it looks kind of weird, but the hack is in the picture. So what I do is I literally tape my mouth so I don't mouth breathe. And scientifically, a lot of research shows that that is the best way to sleep properly if you're breathing through your nose. Even though you want to breathe through your nose, we just have this like habit of breathing through our mouth, and that is very common for most of us. That is certainly with me, but that really helps. So that's one hack. Another for sure is if you dim the light as much as possible, and best case scenario is even if you could like really make your room pitch dark. And like if you're opening your eyes while you're sleeping, you're supposed to see nothing. It's supposed to be super dark. That means you get a quality sleep. Another thing, like it's very common, I guess, on YouTube, like everyone talks about it. It's taking like a break between, like before you're going to sleep. Don't look at electronics. Don't look at something that's stimulating. Like don't look at something that gives you dopamine rush. 1 year ago, before when I was addicted to video games, I would play video games right before I would sleep, and it was just horrible because I would have the worst sleep. And that's very normal. Like that's such a normal thing that most people do now. So you want to avoid that as much as possible. Am I consistent? Not really. I mean, I'm a student, so I have to get some assignments done before I sleep. But most of the nights, I take like a 30-minute break before I sleep, and that helps a lot. Another thing is I open my window so that the room is cooler in temperature. If you have an AC or something, then if you could lower down the temperature before you sleep, while you're sleeping for the whole night, the colder the better it is. So that definitely helps. What you want to do is you want to make it so cold, you want to make it colder so that you get into the REM sleep, and that's like the deeper level of sleep than general, because usually what's happening is you're sleeping and you're not having this proper deep sleep, and that's what you want to reach as much as possible. I've been like really researching on deciding on whether I should get Whoop, which is like a fitness tracker wristband that's connected to your phone, and it literally tells you everything about your data as you go through your day. And while you're sleeping, it tells you like your sleep quality and gives you this just crazy amount of data. And as you know, data is like the most important thing right now, because if you have a good solid amount of data, then you'll be able to judge and make better judgments in the future. Another sleep tracker is Aura Ring. So I've been deciding whether I should get one of those, but I'm a student, so I don't really want to spend so much right now. Like, I don't feel that I'm in the position to spend so much right now, and that's why I'm making this video, because like it's not like I don't think Whoop or like Aura Ring will really make a difference right now, because what you want to do is you want to have a good habit first before you make these two big purchases, because it's kind of expensive, honestly. It's definitely worth it. I don't think it's a waste of money, obviously, but if you're kind of broke like me, then it's definitely worth it not to spend that much, especially when you don't really know what you're doing. So you got to do what you got to do with what you have. Yeah, that's about it. Like, make your room cooler. Tape your mouth so you breathe through your nose. Make your room pitch dark, and take a break. Take like a 30-minute or 1 hour break before you sleep from electronics. And this is about it. Like four crazy hacks. I honestly think these are like very good and a wonderful hack, because it works. It just works. I also wanted to, I've been thinking of reading more about sleep. I read a couple books. Last year I read this one book called Superhuman by Dave Asprey. If you don't know Dave Asprey, he's like a very famous biohacker. And he wrote this book about Superhuman. There's this one chapter about sleep, and he pretty much talked everything that I just said about like just sleeping hacks, like having a dark room and making your room temperature closer. These are things you don't learn in school, and it's kind of weird because these are the most important things to have a healthy life in general. So the book that I want to read sometime soon, that I've already purchased, is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. And this book is really famous, so I mean, and this one is like a very famous book about how to sleep properly. Personally, this author essentially argues this thought-provoking idea of how sleep is the most important thing in your life, and how if you sleep more, you'll have a longer life, and also you need to be sleeping at least 8 hours. So I think this guy probably sleeps about like 10 hours. I'm like deciding whether that's efficient or not. I don't know if you really need to sleep 8 hours. This is other doctor, well, he's called Sleep Doctor. I don't remember his name, but he talked about like how 6 hours of sleep is enough as long as you are reaching the REM sleep, which is the deep sleep. Like, if you're going to that deep sleep faster, and you know how to like reach that deep sleep faster than an average person, then you don't really need to sleep for that long, like 8 hours or 10 hours. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, I don't know, kind of this whole knowledge of sleep is kind of hard to know, but these 4 hacks that I just told you about how to sleep properly: taping mouth, darker room, cooler temperature, and taking a break of electronics before sleeping. These 4 hacks definitely do work, and it's very practical, because I've been doing it for almost a year or so, and it has definitely improved my sleep. Hope you learned something from this video, and if you liked it, subscribe. If you can, share it to people that you care about, and I'll be uploading more videos.